Mr. Fraunberger is the new vice principal here at Fairfield High School. He moved from Snook ISD last year and was at a number of schools before then.
I was a teacher and coach for many years, 20-something years before getting into administration. I started my coaching career at McNeese State as a student assistant and then coached at various places, trying to move up the ladder, so to speak. And I coached all the way from 6A to 1A, and so those were good experiences. And then I got into administration, I guess 11 years ago, and been doing that since.
During his coaching career and while watching his kids play sports, Mr. Fraunberger had come in contact with the Fairfield community. He had visited our gym before and had scrimmaged against us when coaching at Rusk.
And it was evident from the first time I ever saw any of the students and coaches, what the expectations and values were here in Fairfield, and it was obvious that it was a great community with high expectations and accountability, and it was just it seemed like a really good place to be.
Most of his free time is spent playing golf. He also fishes some, but claims he's not that good at it. Mr. Fraunberger grew up in the Houston area. He moved around a lot and never went to the same school 2 years in a row.
Until I got to Grapeland. My mom moved to Grapeland where her parents were halfway through my freshman year. So I went from Clear Creek, one of the biggest schools in Texas, to Grapeland, which was, kind of probably not one of the smallest, but it's pretty small. And then she moved on again, and I decided to stay there and graduate from Grapeland, so lived with my grandparents the remainder of my high school time. We actually met at a convenience store. I was going, out somewhere with a friend, and we had a mutual friend that introduced us, and I asked her out, and here we are 34 years later. Best thing ever happened to me.
Mr. and Mrs. Fraunberger have 3 children, their oldest being 28 and a design engineer for Nucor. His other daughter is an RN in the NICU unit, and his son is a sophomore in college at McNeese State where he plays golf. Mr. Fraunberger wants the students here at Fairfield to know that he is fair and consistent and will be their biggest advocate.
It didn't matter if it was my kid or the superintendent's kid, it was the same for all. And so wanted to know that, and then to know that when things happen, we deal with it and then move on, and there's no hanging on to it. When it's done, it's done. And then probably most importantly, if they have any issues that they would need help with, sometimes just want to talk, I'll do my best to help, and at the very least listen. Well, some people do, but it's kind of a good conversation piece. My roommate in junior college that I played football with was a guy named Steve Williams. He was from Edna, Texas, and later became known as Stone Cold Steve Austin. So it's kind of a funny story. But anyway, we were roommates, and he was in my wife and I's wedding. And so, like I said, neat conversation piece.